Too often, we tolerate low standard of performance, whether that's individually, whether that's with our teams, because we're just like, oh, but it's okay, Jake, you just like chill there. How many of y'all run brokerages here? How many of y'all run sales teams? How many of y'all are independent? You're independently selling. Well, guess what? How easy is it for you to just kind of, today's just one of those days. I've never had a W-2 in my life. I've never had a paycheck with a salary, with a base, with a guarantee. And I'm super grateful for that. Because I hope I'm speaking to everybody in here. You guys all go and write your own effing tickets. That's why you showed up, right? That's why you signed up to be real estate agents. That's why you guys are in this business. So I wrote a book called Eat What You Kill. And it's about teaching people to become more of a carnivore. We're gonna give a couple away. But the problem is we have too many people getting too soft. And this was a manifesto to the sales world to stop being so soft. Because in today's world, the interweb showed up in the 90s, and all of a sudden everybody got fat and soft. But my dad sold Kirby vacuums in the college. My great-great-grandpa was an insurance agent. He had 20,000 agents. He rode horseback door to door in 1920. He wrote his first $1 million of insurance policies in 1917. Like, think about like the OG, how we used to sell. We're still people. The problem is the interweb made ourselves super dependent on, oh, my phone rings. And I'm like, how about we just go back to the simple fact of eat what you kill? Because today's world needs a little bit more carnivores. And so let's talk about carnivores for a second. The first thing that distinguishes them and makes them different is their teeth. So how they sharpen their teeth. Does anybody know how they sharpen their teeth? They eat. By them chewing constantly and eating, it actually keeps their teeth sharp and don't go dull. The second thing that distinguishes a carnivore is their claws. So if you think of an herbivore like a cow or a lamb or something, they just have hooves, right? Where carnivores have to have talons, they have to have claws. But how do they keep their claws alive? They have to kill or scratch wood and it rips off. I'm sure it's kind of painful for a minute. Like an eagle, it breaks its own beak, right? Like these guys have to have like gruesome moments where they're literally sharpening their claws so that the strength and the sharpness still maintains itself so they can actually eat. As most people are like, I'm a carnivore. I'm like, no, 27% of you guys in this room might be carnivores. And then they're like, but I'm an herbivore. I take leads and I self-generate business. And I'm like, 8% of you guys are in here, the omnivore. We call those the unicorns. Because everybody thinks they're omnivores, but they're really just herbivores. Because the vast majority of people in this business, no offense, are herbivores. They're waiting for somebody to send them a referral, and they're like, yes, Tiffany, thanks so much for the lead. Because they're not willing to go do the hard thing and hunt. Fair? And in today's market, since the interest rates, like guys, I got into real estate when I was a young kid. Like I thought I was gonna do real estate. That was like what my dad did. I grew up in Park City. He was a land developer. He flipped homes. He did like all things real estate. And when I thought I was gonna, I got to college, get into door-to-door sales, did it for 2 years, then I quit and I was like, I'm gonna go get a real job. Well, little did I find out, and I'm like, 20, making a couple $100,000 a summer, and you go try to find a normal job, and you're still in school, and you're like, wait a minute. You have to sit there and you only get 2 weeks paid vacation, you can't make a couple $100,000 and you're only 20? That doesn't exist? Perhaps I should just keep knocking on doors. Anybody have that same experience? I remember I came home after one summer, I made $550,000. I'm looking at my college professor, and in 4 months, I was like, wait a minute, what does he make? And I was like, I quit. I dropped out of school, just went harder on the whole door-to-door thing. And I just learned as a young kid, I was like, wait a minute. There's a thing out there called unlimited potential. People are the ones that put the limits. Possibility exists, limitations are what's created. We're the ones creating that. There isn't a lack of buyers or sellers. There isn't a lack of homes moving. It's just a lack of our ability to go tap into this. And I watch too many people think they're omnivores, but the reality is if you look at your calendar, so this is the quickest way we can identify it. Everybody pull out your Google Calendar or whatever you use, Apple Calendar, whatever that is. I want you to pull out your phones. Do me a solid, come on. Pull out your phones, and I want you to look at the blank space in the calendar last week. Just pull out the week, and I'm gonna come and look at some of these. So pull out last week's calendar, whatever you use for calendaring, and I'm gonna pull it up. And then go to the week view. You're going day by day. You got like, okay, he's got some color coordination. I like it. There you go. So let's look at, what's your name?
Gary.
Gary, can I use you, Gary? Give it up for Gary! Woo! VIP, baby. So let's can I just show them? It's nothing this is the problem, right? And I'm speaking to everybody as I'm using Gary. Because the problem is how many appointments, are you a realtor? Okay, so how many listing or visits or home conversations did you have last week?
I would say generally about 2 to 4.
2 to 4 weeks. So what'd you do for the rest of the week?
Other stuff.
Do you see what I'm getting at? And I'm not saying this in all shame. That is the facts. I had 2 to 4 good appointments with some listings or some buyers or whatever, right? But then you look at the rest of your calendar and you're like, what'd you do on Friday from 1 till forever? And then what'd you do all that day? And then you had your kids picked up, but it's what'd you do all morning? So I'm gonna talk about 3 things. The first one is mental. So the problem is most people have to have this mentality shift to I don't wanna be one of those guys. I don't want to bug people. I'm like, wake up. You're in freaking sales and nothing happens. You're the greatest lubricant of society because nothing happens until a sale is made. And if you don't believe you're serving people, get out of sales. Change industries. And you can't make something, does that make sense? You are in sales, you're gonna bug people in your mentality? I'm like, no. You're here to serve people. We've got to shift our mentality to what I do is so important. Your dinner can wait. Your kid's football game can wait. We're here to chat. Because 80% of this is mental, 20% is the actual skills. And I think a lot of people, and we're gonna dive into the sales skills because that's the fun stuff to jam on, but too many people don't spend enough work on the mental stuff. So I'm glad you guys all showed up. You guys are all here. You know how many real estate agents could have been here that aren't here? So give yourselves a freaking round of applause. You guys are here. Guys, and when I say door knocking, there's 7 doors to knock. Let me just clarify. There's the front door, which is what I've done, but they have their ringless voicemail, their email, their call, their text. Does that make sense? There's so many doors. Facebook, I just like the front door. Why? Because you can't swipe past me. You got to look me in the eyes and be like, go away. I'm like, I know, you get a lot of these guys coming to your house. They can't be ignored. I mean, they could maybe not answer the door, but at the end of the day, there's real energy exchange. With a billboard, I hate to break it to you, it's super passive. Nobody's he didn't look at my billboard. No, it's just it is. It's there. You know what I mean?